At a mountainside rest stop in Colorado, my own family drove off and left me with nothing but a hole in my shoe and a belly full of rage. I stood there, blinking into the sun, thinking, maybe this is a joke. But the hours passed, and no one came back. Not my dad Rex, who always said I was dead weight. Not my brother Caleb, who lived to laugh at me. Not even my mom Cheryl, whose silence hurt the worst. It was supposed to be a road trip to my uncle's wedding. I was 22, broke, working part-time in Rex's hardware store in Columbia, Missouri, living at home because college was a scam, according to him. And then they just left me. 10 minutes. That's all it took. I'd gone into the rest stop bathroom to pee. When I came out, their green Ford Explorer was gone. I waited on the curb for an hour. Told myself it was a joke. People came and went. A trucker asked if I was okay. Elite. I said my girlfriend was inside. I didn't have one. Hell, I barely had myself at that point. But in that moment, when I almost borrowed a stranger's phone to beg for them to come back, I saw it all clearly. Every insult, every shove, every time Rex called me a waste of space. Caleb echoing him like a shadow with a smirk. Mom pretending she didn't hear. They wanted to see if I could make it without them? So I did. I asked a woman for a ride to Bozeman, 40 miles west, and lied just enough to seem harmless. From there, I found a shelter, then a dishwashing job at a diner called Ruby's. Ruby herself was 60-something, covered in tattoos, and mean as hell in the best way. You steal from me, I bury you under the walk-in, she said. I love her instantly. Want more of this story? Hit like and subscribe. Would you have forgiven them? Drop your hometown in the comments. I want to see where people are from. The first call came 7 days later. I was wiping down counters at Ruby's, sweat clinging to my back from a double shift when my burner phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Dorian? Oh my God, is that you? It was Cheryl. Her voice was shaking. We were just joking, sweetie. We waited down the road. We came back, and you were gone. In the background, I heard Rex's unmistakable growl. Tell him to stop being dramatic and get his ass to the wedding. Then Caleb chimed in, laughing like a hyena. Bet he's crying under a tree somewhere. That's when it hit me. I wasn't scared anymore. I was done. You wanted to see if I could make it without you. I said, voice steady as a mountain. Watch me. Click. I blocked them all. That first month was hard. Hard like raw knuckle, sleep on the floor, eat from the diner bin hard. But I kept going. Ruby let me crash in the storage room after she caught me sleeping in the alley. She said nothing, just tossed me a spare apron and grunted, don't die here. It'd be a pain to clean up. Within 6 weeks, I had a cheap studio above a vape shop. My bed was an air mattress that squeaked when I rolled over. The place stank of mango clouds and regret. But it was mine. I worked my way up to line cook. Ruby taught me how to cook hash browns that didn't stick and how to spot a dine and dasher by the twitch in their shoulders. I checked my old email one night. Cheryl had sent 36 messages. Rex wrote, this childish stun has gone on long enough. Caleb's read, get over it. It was a joke. You've always been sensitive. I never replied. Instead, I poured myself into work. I started online classes in business management, learned how to file taxes, paid off my medical debt from a broken ankle I'd gotten years ago that Rex never let me treat. Freedom tasted like burnt coffee and bleach-soaked towels. 3 months later, I saw Caleb's mugshot on Facebook. He'd wrapped his Dodge Charger around a telephone pole. DUI. No one else was hurt. But his face, bloated, pathetic, was splashed across our hometown's local news page. Under it was his high school football picture, all smug and perfect. Karma had a hell of a memory. 5 years passed. In that time, I clawed my way up from dishwasher to assistant manager. Ruby's Diner became my fortress. My mornings were spent scrambling eggs. My nights, studying marketing and small business law online. I still slept with one eye open, but at least it was in my own apartment, not under someone's porch. Then came Kara. She started coming into Ruby's every Tuesday and Thursday like clockwork. Always ordered a Denver omelet with no peppers. Always sat at the counter with a textbook thicker than a phone book. She barely noticed me for months, until one day she did. She pointed to my name tag and frowned. Your name's not Darian, is it? It wasn't. I had started using wrong name tags just to amuse myself. Caught me. I grinned. We started talking, then laughing, then dating. And suddenly, I wasn't surviving anymore. I was living. She was in med school. Brilliant, grounded, and stubborn as hell. When she moved in, I had to clear out years of solitude that had settled like dust in my bones. It was terrifying. It was worth it. We moved into a 2-bedroom on the edge of Bozeman with windows that actually locked and a yard full of rocks and weeds. Kara pulled me into normal, into birthday dinners and Netflix nights, and loving without flinching. And then, just when the past felt buried, it clawed its way back. My grandmother died. I found out through Facebook. Cheryl had posted a tearful tribute, full of heart emojis and fake nostalgia. Grandma Jo was the only one who ever saw me. She used to tuck 20s into my jacket pockets and whisper, "This is for your getaway, baby." She meant college. Turned out it was more literal than that. I almost flew back for the funeral. Kara offered to go with me. Ruby said, "Dead people don't care if you show up. Do what brings you peace." Instead, I sent flowers. No return address. Just a card signed Dorian. That night, my inbox pinged with a new email. "Hey, it's Uncle Drew. Your mom gave me your old email, but it bounced. Are you okay? Your dad's been asking about you." I froze. Why now? I blocked the address and tossed my old SIM card into the dumpster behind the diner. But it was too late. The panic hit at 3:12 a.m. I was curled up on a bathroom floor, gasping like I'd run 10 miles uphill. The walls pressed in. My skin itched with old memories. Rex's booming voice, Caleb's laughter, the slam of a door that never opened back up. Kara found me like that. Didn't ask questions. Just sat beside me, our shoulders touching, until I could breathe again. "They can't take anything from you that you don't give," she whispered. The next morning, I called a lawyer. Restraining orders, privacy settings, emergency contacts at Ruby's, and all 3 locations of the now expanded diner. I even taught the hostess staff what Rex's face looked like, just in case he walked through the door again with a fake smile and a real threat. But the worst part? I couldn't stop checking. I'd built fake accounts just to lurk, watching from digital shadows as their lives crumbled. The hardware store? Closed. Their house? Foreclosed. Caleb? Bounced between jobs like a racquetball. They weren't looking for me out of love. They were circling like buzzards because they needed something. Still, I kept building. Ruby asked me to run a second location across town. Not own, run. But it was a start. "You already do everything here except sign the paychecks," she grumbled, tossing me the keys. That first year, I worked 90-hour weeks. Lost weight. Fought with Kara over never being home. Came back to post-it notes on the fridge that read, "We miss you. Come back to us." But worked. Bozeman started calling the new spot East Ruby's. Reviews were good. The vibe was better. It wasn't just a diner. It was proof. For years after they left me on that Colorado highway, I had enough saved to make a dent in Kara's student loans. She cried so hard she couldn't speak. I held her and realized, for the first time, I wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone. I was just proud. Then came the final twist, a LinkedIn notification. "Caleb Weston viewed your profile 27 times. 15 years of silence. Now this? The past doesn't die. It waits. In emails. In mugshots. In the corner of your own name tag." I was about to find out why. 3 days after Caleb stalked my LinkedIn, I got the call at East Ruby's. "Hey, Dorian, Maya, the front host, called from the register. Some family's here asking for you." I thought it was Kara's parents. It wasn't. Rex stood there, older, smaller. His presence no longer filled the room. Cheryl looked like she'd been aging in fast forward, tears already slipping down her cheeks. Caleb stood with that same smug posture, except now it looked like a mask cracking at the edges. And with them, a young woman in her 20s, clinging to Caleb's elbow. His latest wife, probably. She looked unsure whether she should be part of this train wreck. They all looked pitiful. We sat at a table in the corner. I didn't say much, just listened. They found me because of a local business magazine that ran a feature on 10 rising stars in Montana. It had a picture of me in front of Ruby's. One of Cheryl's old friends sent it to her with a note. "Is this your Dorian?" That's when the calls started again, 107 missed ones over the years, they claimed. They said it like that meant something. Rex started with the speech. How family sticks together. How he always knew I'd make it. Then came he asked. They needed $20,000. Just a loan. Rex had heart problems. No insurance. Cheryl needed knee surgery. Caleb's crypto scam had tanked. They'd lost everything. They looked at me like I was the answer. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I stood up, went to my office, and came back with an envelope. Inside was a check for $73.50. Rex blinked. What the hell is this? That's what a Greyhound ticket from Grand Junction to Columbia cost in 2010, I said calmly. Exactly what it would have taken for me to get home. After you left me on the side of the road. Silence. Then shouting. Rex stood, veins bulging, yelling about ungrateful children, disappointment, loyalty. Cheryl sobbed, asking how I could do this to family. Caleb's charm cracked into cold fury. You always thought you were better than us. No, I said, steady. I just stopped letting you prove I wasn't. They left. Rex crumpled the check and tossed it at my feet. I watched them from the front door camera later that night, still in the driveway, arguing. Rex waving his arms. Cheryl crying. Caleb staring at my house with something like hatred. But I didn't feel fear. I felt peace. Because the best revenge? It's not yelling. It's not exposing. It's not even cutting them off. It's building a life so solid, so joyful, so untouchable, they can't reach it. Even when they're desperate. I never made it back to Missouri. I did something better. I built something they'll never destroy.